Well, well, if it isn't the slaves and the traitor. I don't remember giving you permission to enter the palace.
So it's true. You really are the one behind all this, Kelzelik.
I don't remember giving you permission to speak either. Know your place, slave.
Now we see his true colors.
Yeah, a despicable excuse for a human being. Though really, I guess that makes him pretty ordinary, huh?
Kelzelik, you were Lord Dohalim's most trusted advisor. His closest ally. Why would you betray him?
Don't be a fool! I didn't serve him because I wanted to. I expect a mere slave would know, but there are many powerful contenders for the position of Lord. A contest of strength determines the one who will be Lord and undisputed ruler of a realm. There is no choice in the selection. If my master had any ambitions of becoming the Sovereign, I would have gladly served him.
But he had no intention of fighting for the crown.
Indeed. Can you slaves even imagine how that looked to the rest of us? Enduring the whims of an ambitionless lord, all we could do was wait for the end as we suffered through our humiliation.
You want suffering? Try being Danon for a day.
So you plotted against Lord Dohalim in secret. And when my brother found out...
And I would do it all again if it meant returning Menancia to its rightful state! A realm where Danons are slaves and Renans their masters. It's the natural order.
Enough! Who are you to decide what is natural or rightful, traitor? Miguel. My brother. He dreamed of building a world free of suffering. He gave his life for that dream. And all you've managed to build is a lake of death! You killed my brother. And now you'll die for it! My brother's dead because of you!
Why should I concern myself with the passing of one pathetic slave?
Have you no shame?
It can hide itself? Amazing! Aim for the weak spot! You picked the wrong fight!
I'll smash you!
Take the raging cascade!
Denied!
Here I come!
I'll finish you here and now!
You're mine!
Raging cascade!
You're on! Severing wind! You're mine! Severing wind!
Raging cascade!
Sword Ray Alpha!
Nice while it lasts.
You're finished! I owe you one.
In here.
It vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled.
You're mine!
More with that!
First strike!
First aid!
You're on!
Sleep now!
You're mine!
Anything in order is all right.
Sword Ray Alpha!
Lightning orb! More with that! Here, First aid! Wings in the sky! This one's mine!
Now you see what I can watch.
Take this! You're finished!
Dance in the wind! Healing circle here!
Nice
You
while
picked the
it
wrong
Hey,
fight!
that's there! Flash! Where did that came from? Gemini ready!
You're mine!
What is your dream?
It's over! You're mine!
Go again.
It's over!
Win!
Tear you apart! You're on!
Sion, astral energy! Full throttle!
Here we go again.
Here's a healing arc! Light astral
You're mine!
energy!
Sword Ray Alpha! Talon Storm! More Sukos?
Keep calm and take them down!
Finish you here and now! Flash! Swallow Blade!
Wind astral energy!
Sword Ray Alpha!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone! You're mine! I'm on it! You're finished!
Here I go! Light astral energy! Getting the wind!
I'll tear you apart!
I'll be saving this way!
Here I
If
come!
it's in the sky, it's mine! Hear my raging
Take this!
Where are you going? Here goes! Project Joe! Raging Now you see what I can do! That's my cue!
Good! Shut him down! You're mine!
Not on my watch!
Just the dust!
Healing circle!
Sword Rain Alpha! Cross Blade!
Mega Ray!
Flash! Try hard! Not a chance! This isn't looking good! Try harder! My turn! What you through!
Healing circle!
I'm not done! Sword Rain!
Nothing gets through! Lost! You alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Subtle turret!
It's weakened! Dance in the wind!
This ends now!
I'm almost impressed.
My praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
You're on! Sword Rain Alpha! First strike! Severing Wind! Swallow Blade! You're mine! Here we go! You're finished!
Armor won't save you! Naturally!
Try harder! My turn! It's gonna attack!
Watch out! Here's a healing arc! Let's again!
Easter!
Where are you going? Not on my watch!
It's over! Severing Wind! You're on! Severing Wind! Take it! You're finished! You're mine!
Ridwell! Frozen!
Hammer!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzelik.
Attaining lordship? Ridiculous. Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzelik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
They can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me. It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Mahak Sar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough, and you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act as the Lord of Elder Menencia. Go to Mahak Sar, Ganeth Horrors, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you alright with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renan. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream? What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Danans who overpowered Kelzelik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renans?
Indeed. A militia made up of Danan guardsmen, Renan supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Danans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, if I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Danans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Danan dissidents, side by side with a Renan lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her.
Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Miguel entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
You all arrived here from Cyslodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Dahnans and Renans have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Lagiel?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Dahnan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elde Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before. But looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elderman and Sea Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
A fish! You saw it too, right?
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed it. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them?
That
With your
might
bare
take a
hands?
while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Reel it in. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Not too shabby, friend.
Reel it in. Boy, that's a bit of a letdown.
Nice work!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
That turned out good, if I do say so myself. Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left.
They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Dahnan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Dahnans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Dahnans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
All right. They're here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the wood.
No choice! Severing Wing! Mirage! Severing Wing! Mirage!
Try this on for size! I'm not so good with airborne targets. It's over.
Now you see what I can do!
Got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle.
Ready to go!
All yours! You're mine! I'm on it! It's over!
Just getting started!
You're mine! Win! Score!
We've turned the tables on.
There are still more left.
Right! No time to hold back!
Here I go.
Sword Rain Alpha! Wicked hair! Severing Wing! Eat dirt! Do it! Dragon! Come on, a roll! You're mine!
Wind astral energy!
My fists are crushing it out there!
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
More Dahnan ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that.
Ow!
Severing Wing! Mirage! Severing Wing! Mirage! Sword Rain Alpha!
My special.
I'll take you all on!
I can carve flying freak! Like if they just sit still!
Zero, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than frozen.
Hammer!
Now!
I never miss.
Wither Dragon! Mirage!
Here I go. Do it.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Sure, I built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here. Quite literally.
So Mahag Saar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know. This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Come and face me! Hurrah! Sword Ring Alpha!
Gemini Alpha!
Severing Wind!
The fuel of the earth! I never miss! My Astrolatus lightning condemned!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for you truly!
Do it! Good! Blow them away!
Let's
My turn! Here I come!
Leave the enemy's arc to me! Healing circle!
No complaints here!
I do!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Take this! Down! You're
In
finished!
here! Here's a healing arc! Starting wind!
Now I can let loose!
Number one
It's over!
Well, someone seems in tip-top form.
Nothing new about that.
And still as humble as ever.
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Acid to action!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
This will be a delicious piece of cake! None shall escape my sword! Here goes! Raging Cascade!
Severing Wind! You're on!
Air Colossus!
Ring Alpha!
None shall escape my judgment!
Take this!
Raging
How
Cascade!
about this?
Rage!
Searing Gale!
Here
Turn the
goes!
tables on. An astral art?
Get on! That's my cue!
Here I come! Shut him down!
You are the human.
To stop you dying?
Sword Ring Alpha!
Lightning
Rising Eagle Blast! Infernal Torrent!
I'm even stronger than before. It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Rising Phoenix! Come one, come all! Through escape! First strike!
Where are you going? Not on my watch! Here I go!
The enemy wields on too.
You'll soon see about that!
Take this!
Let the marksman handle this! Get on
Damn,
there!
beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself.
Come like hell, you will.
Do it! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
Me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Here we go.
Smash you! You're mine! You're finished!
Blah, blah, blah. That's all in here.
Take this!
Healing circle.
Okay. Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
Speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Here goes.
Rising rocket! It's over!
Firmament Ranger. Gemini Aqua. Aerosol. Not in your dreams. Gemini Aqua. I never miss. Steel Core.
You picked the wrong fight!
Far enough.
Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray.
No escape!
Dash in the way of water. Roll now.
We're not done!
Power of water.
Searing Gale!
Firmament Ranger.
Take this!
It's too much. Here's a healing art. First aid.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can. Can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...